Comic book school is in session, but guess what? We're going to play hooky today. Or I played hooky this week. And I decided on a whim to go ahead and go to the Ocala Book Comic Con here in town. The main event's inside. Okay, once again, it's Tony out of Valdosta over at the Ocala Comic Con. He was showing me his Lobo up here. Let me get it done. Nice.
And this is one of my bad copies.
How many you got? Just two?
5. No,
Five,
I got
really?
5. Yeah. I got 9.9.
Where do you find them?
I bought them like maybe 5 years ago, 7 years ago. I was just going around looking for the first black superhero, and I collected black comic books when I first got started, and I just kept going. So,
5 years ago is about the sweet spot.
Yeah, you get them for $50, $40. Hell, 5 years ago you could get Black Panther 52 for way less than what they
Or
go
number
for
one.
now. Yep, that too. But when that movie came out, that was a wrap.
It's only like 10 minutes from my house at the Hilton. And I usually don't go. The last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, I decided I'm not going to go. I really had a bad experience last time. Last time I went was only the 3 LCS owners in my town. And so I paid $20 to get in. For what? To go to the LCS all in one spot. And actually there was 4. One was from a little bit out of town, and I bought a couple books from this guy, and one of them when I got home was a Golden Age Adventure Comics. I don't remember the number, but when I opened it up, it was a Superman book, and I was very upset about it. But it was my own fault because I should have looked at the book. My wife always tells me whenever I go somewhere, look at your books. Open them up, check them out, look at the pages, count them, and I listen sometimes. So this is what I got at the con. I had $100 and I spent every penny of it. And that's not including the $20 entry fee. And it wasn't bad. You know, I made the best of it. It seems like almost everywhere that I go, it's the same thing. The books are overpriced and they're undergraded. And this was no exception. But you know, I made the best of it. I talked with a lot of people. There were a lot of vendors from out of town, people I'd never seen before, so I had conversation with them, introduced and asked them where they were from. Talked about it. They had one from out of state, out of Georgia, a couple from Tampa. I had my LCS owners there who were gracious because they were outside in the tent, and this is Florida, it's like 100 degrees, and they let their girlfriends and their wives and their mothers run the booths inside. How nice of them. But you know, this is one of the ones I picked up from Tony, from Valdosta. This was $5, and you know, I'm trying to jump on these Archie swimsuit covers before they're out of reach, because this seems to be the new niche that everybody's going for. So this one was $5. Betty and Me number 17. Really nice grade. This is like a fine plus. So, yep. And I had a good time. I enjoyed it. And we got a new a new member of our family, and he's down here trying to get my microphone. We had a cat adopt us. My wife went outside on Friday, opened up the door, and she heard a cat crying, and there was a kitten inside her car engine. And now he won't leave, so we adopted him. We call him Dustbuster because he goes under all the places that we can't get to, and he collects the dust. But this is Archie Giant Series 201, another bikini cover. This one's like a G+ grade, but it's a bigger book. So we grabbed these two. This one was like $2, so no big deal. There was some good stuff. I did find when I was leaving the last book, and we're gonna see the last booth that I passed in order to walk out because it goes in a circle. He had a small table in the corner, and it had $1 books on, and that's probably where I got most of my books. Tales of Suspense, number 87. I own this. I didn't even look it up. Wanted to support my local Captain Kirk's Geek Shop, so I looked through his boxes and found 2 books that I wanted. This was one of them, and I already had it. So, you know, I've got 2, and they'll probably go in the prize box. I think $6 for this. So, some of the next ones are the dollar books, and most of them were upgrades to ones that I already owned. I'm gonna have to hang. This is Buster, and he's tearing up my legs. Okay, now you had your 15 minutes of fame. You want to get off here now? Yeah, this is Windu Comics right here. Bunch of dollar books. But his shop is in Claremont, across from the water tower. And this is Sylvester, he's the owner right here.
Yes, indeed. How are you? Stop by and see us.
Having a good time, bought a bunch of dollar books from him. These next ones coming up, I don't even know how many I got out of the dollar bin. It ended up being $39. I bought a book out of there for 10 and another one for 6. So 39 minus 16, 23 books for $1. I have this already, but this is an upgrade for me. This is a nice copy too, for $1. Wonder Woman 210. It's a very golden age looking cover. And so I got a bunch of Wonder Womans. Most of them are upgrades. This one I didn't have. This is 261. Dick Giordano cover. I think it's 1979. This is like near mint. This guy had dollar boxes, and he had a lot of stuff in there that most people around the con would have probably sold for $3 to $5. So I was like, just as I left, this is what I'm looking for. So the cons today, I don't know. I don't go to a lot anymore. And I watched Strange X-Blades. He got a lot of good stuff for cheap. And for me, that's what a con is supposed to be. I'm going there, and I'm supposed to find tons of books at bargain price. And I used to go to the Miami and Orlando Comic-Con years ago, and I would bring home 2 or 3 long boxes of stuff. I'd pay 40 to 50 cents for it, and it'd be Bronze Age, and it'd be good stuff too, not the junk, not the DC Explosion books or the Omega for Marvel or whatever it is. But I got a lot of the stuff that I have today. I got for 40 cents, like Nova #1, and a lot of Bronze Age Marvel and DC. And that to me is what a con is. You go and it's all comic book vendors, and you get books at $1 or less in good shape. This was not the case again, but like I said, I was leaving. I found this guy had some great stuff for $1. I forget his name, but I'll have the video up going with this. This is an upgrade for me. I already have this one, Wonder Woman 270. And I actually read this, really good issue, August 1979, beautiful cover. And I love the end of the Wonder Woman run, like from the 79 through the 80s. And this is why I love the end of this Wonder Woman run. Of course, I love the whole run from the Golden Age up. But this is the first issue by Eugene Jules Colin, or better known as Gene Colan. And man, with a name like that, that guy would not have survived in my high school in Wisconsin. But this is Wonder Woman 288. I have a low grade copy of this. This is a beautiful cover. I love it so much. Gene Colan, one of my favorite artists, because he just brings action to life off the page. I mean, I think he's the only artist that I know that can do that. Kirby does it, but he does it in a different way. Colan shows like the movement of the bodies and the arms and the legs and whatever. The action is just completely moving. I really love Gene Colan's stuff. And this is his first Wonder Woman issue, his first run on Wonder Woman. So it's kind of a small key, nobody really big deal for anybody. But Roy Thomas, Gene Colan, Romero Tengal. So I'm happy to upgrade that. So he had a bunch of them, and these are all upgrades for me, but that is not a Colan cover. That's a Hannigan and Giordano, Wonder Woman 302. But up comes one of my other favorite artists, and you'll notice this is kind of a themed. So we got Gene Colan, and then we got Gil Kane right here. This next Wonder Woman up, a beautiful number 303. Well, Wonder Woman 303 by Eli Katz, or better known as Gil Kane. I love Gil Kane, and his style has changed from the 70s to the 80s, and I can never really define how it is. You just have to look at it and you see the difference in it. I don't know if he inked his own work, maybe what it is. Gil Kane was co-creator of the modern Green Lantern and the modern DC Atom. He also co-created Iron Fist with Roy Thomas. Another beautiful Gil Kane cover, Eli Katz. So the cool thing about Gene Colan, Eugene Jules Colan, and Eli Katz, Gil Kane, they both are Jewish, and they both immigrated over here to New York City. And both went to school in Manhattan, so wow, it's pretty cool. This is Wonder Woman 304. All these are upgrades, I already have them, so maybe I'll give away. And you notice that these Gil Kane covers have like this is 305, they all have this like patterns going on in them. Pretty cool. And look, even this one, you can see the Wonder Woman. So this is the new era of Wonder Woman. I wonder at this time if they were already planning for the George Perez run. Here we have a Garcia Lopez and a De Giordano cover. Check that out though, number 306. You love that background, the red. Yeah, it's cool. $1, man. For me to find these for $1 in high grade is really, really fine. So I was kind of satisfied with what I bought before I left, but I was hoping to go there and really find some dollar boxes where I could find a lot of good stuff. I wanted to, bring home 100 books for $1. And then this is the last one I got, the last one of the first Wonder Woman run. This is 307. Another Gil Kane. He started his career in the 1940s, and from the 1990s he virtually worked for every major comic book company there is. So Gil Kane actually quit high school because he already had a summer job working for comic book companies. He was actually working for MLJ, which would become Archie. After 3 weeks of being there, he got fired, and so he went to work for Jack Bender's agency, which was an apartment on 5th Avenue in Manhattan. He said there was like 50 to 60 guys in that apartment. In and out, not all at once, but they were in and out. So he was there for not very long, another 3 weeks, and then MLJ called him back and gave him his job back, and that's where he started doing his first penciling work. Working on Pep Comics and The Shield. So his first cover dated work was on May 1941 for Zip Comics number 14, which I do have an issue of that. Those are very tough to get. His first Marvel work was in 1944 on Young Allies number 11. Influences, according to him, were Sid Shores and Milton Kenneth. His first work was on Wings number 52, 1944. He did a one-page wing tips, which is like information on a plane, which was the P-51B Mustang. And then the following months, he got his first real work where he did a 7-page story on Clip Kirk. So his first work was at Wings by Fiction House. So Gene Colan, he co-created Falcon. Carol Danvers and Blade the Vampire Slayer, that was his biggest creations, and they were all at Marvel. And trying to make this video not an hour long is the George Perez run. I'm always looking for these. I'm trying to finish this run. I'm hoping to find number 1 one day for at least less than 10 bucks in near mint. So number 21, October 88. If I can, yep, the old eyes are right. So it's number 20, October 88. Of course, all George Perez and McLeod. Picked up 42. All these are near mint. Silver Wings, May 1990. And so yeah, finding these for $1 in near mint with a Batman appearance in this one. War of the Gods storyline, number 59, October 91. Of course, Perez. No need to give him an introduction. Everybody knows who he is. This next one, don't know nothing about it other than the fact that it was a nice, busty Power Girl cover. The artist, it was Michael Turner cover. I think I saw someone do tropes on this because look at the faces. They all look the same. The eyes, the shape. But the breast size are different, so I guess that's the only difference in these. And the hair length and the breast size are the only thing different between these characters. Justice League of America number 10. I picked this up, never saw this before. I remember seeing this cover, and if I am correct, it's a Carmen Infantino originally does the cover, no, or maybe Neil Adams, but this is a reworking of the cover by this artist, whoever it is. Detective Classics, I believe this is from 2010. And this is just reprinting stories from Detective Comics from 1968, 69, and 1975. And you know, for $1 near mint, it's a pretty thick book. Thought I'd pick it up. Robin number 1 from the first miniseries. Chuck Dixon, Brian Bollard art, the first appearance of Lynx. And he had a bunch of these, man. I got home and I realized that the second print, I don't know if it was in there or not, but that book goes for a lot of money. Man, it kind of pissed me off that I didn't know that offhand. I knew it, but I didn't remember it. And I hope it wasn't in there. But he had probably like 10 issues of this, number 1. This was, okay, so this came out of a different dealer. That was one of my local LCSs. He had a bunch of other books, but they were all like low grade with a bunch of spine ticks. I didn't own this one. Batman number 362 with a nice Riddler cover. I believe this is Don Newton art, another one of my favorite artists. And this one was in the best condition and it was $3. Anytime I can pick up these 1980 Batman detectives or Batman for cheap and nice shape, I'm gonna fill it. Yep, this is Don Newton, definitely. He is really awesome. So back to the dollar books. Another high grade 511 detective. I did not have this one. Buckler and Giordano cover and another Don Newton art inside. This one I didn't have. This is the first appearance of Mirage, so I don't know much about him. Maybe you guys do. I don't know if that's his last appearance. I already own this. This may be an upgrade for me. I may already have a near mint copy, but I know that this is a near mint copy. 513, Two-Face appearance, Don Newton art, beautiful Buckler and Giordano cover. For $1, I'll pick these up all day. Could probably resell that for $5 in near mint This one's definitely my favorite because this is the Academy of Crime, Part 1. Matches Malone, which is a Batman or Bruce Wayne identity that he uses. He's an arsonist, underworld figure, and he uses that persona to infiltrate organizations, criminal organizations. This has a beautiful Don Newton splash page where they're killing Batman on the opening page with the flamethrower. Then you find out it's one of the students and they're just doing practice run. I always remember this. I've read this issue numerous times. Detective Comics 515, near mint for $1, and still Batgirl, not bad for 60 cents, huh? Next ones I didn't have. Near mint copies of some Flash from the early 80s. Number 270, and of course this up here where the Superman 2 was out. And we're, man, Buckler and Giordano covers again. Sorry about that glare. I got my new lights in now. I don't need to use any spotlights when I'm doing my hauls. We just had a gentleman come in and put new lights in our kitchen and in my office. So that's 270. This is the first appearance of the clown villain. And that's my Comic-Con right there, my wristband. But come on, DC, do they need another villain like a clown? I mean, didn't they have the Joker? Isn't that enough? I guess it wasn't. Well, here we have Justice League appearance, Flash 276, near mint copy. Glad to have that, glad to get that out of the dollar bin. These books are, you find them and you know, they're not really beat up, but they're never really near mint copies either. This is 277. Flash encounters himself in the self-destructive Flash. Moving on with the dollar books. Actually, this one's an upgrade. I already have it, but this one's a near mint copy. How many? I think there's several copies where Flash turns into like a withering old man. There's no way I can break loose from this psychotic freak. I wonder if that's first appearance by him. He's going to continue draining the life force from my body until I die. Number 279, 1979. So these are all actually from the 70s. This one I did not have, and I think this is the end of the dollar books. There's a few more later on. 280. Beautiful, another Dick Giordano cover. And there's Kitty. I've had this one before. I sold it. This was a gentleman, an older guy. And you'll see him here. I'll put up the video in the beginning. He's like in his 70s. He's got a lot of golden age, a lot of East.
Old Bar near Clearwater.
Okay. I'm Mike.
Hey Mike, started selling them after I retired. I had some 23,000 comics, 3 bedrooms.
You sound like me. I got a full bedroom.
Selling them, except for my Batman. I have Batman number 2 through 631. Two books, except number 1, and I just picked them up in the last couple of months.
So you finished it off?
So I only need number 1.
Oh, you only need number 1? You just looking for the right grade and the right price?
Well, I'm hoping I have an Amazing Fantasy 15.
And you gonna trade it?
Fine plus, ungraded. Quite frankly, it's going to cost me $5,000 to have it graded.
Oh, wow.
It's a $130,000 book. I'm hoping to trade that to someone for a low-grade Batman number 1.
But you know, he had a lot of his books were lower grade with a higher grade price on them. But I grabbed this one. I think I paid like $12 for it, or $11. I had it and I didn't have it anymore, and I needed to add it. Batman number 252 from 1972. I looked at buying this one. This was a lower grade. I think I got it for like $6. It has some staining right there, but it was just, this is just a really cool cover. I really like it, and I didn't have this 247 special holiday issue. These lights are so good, the glare is just unbelievable. Got this from Tony from Valdosta, Georgia. He had some nice books for $10 a piece. This is a really pretty high grade Marvel feature number 9, which I didn't own, with Ant-Man, My Wife, the Killer. I think I'm pretty close to finishing this Ant-Man run out of Marvel feature. It's only like 5 or 6 issues. So I was happy to pick that up for $10. I think I bought the Archie from him, which was 5. This was 10, and I bought this for 5. Nice high grade copy of War is Hell number 3. So this is the 3rd book in the run that I own. I own the first appearance of Death. And number 5, I think that's number 9. I own number 5 and I own number 3. So it's a beautiful Bronze Age Marvel square cover caption book. A couple more out of the dollar bin. This is the volume 1 of the Dark Knight, Batman the Dark Knight, number 2 with the David Finch cover with a penguin in the background. And the reason I got number 2 is because I got number 1. David Finch, Scott Williams on inks. Beautiful number 1 issue. I do have number 1, which is on my wall right there, of volume 2, but it's the 2nd print. I have the 3rd print. I still have not found the 1st print. Who did I get this? This was in the $2 books. And this is 1960, November, number 67, Sacred Hearts. It's a pretty presentable cover, even though it's low grade. It has a 10-cent cover price, and I always like that. So it's a really cool looking gypsy telling the fortune right here cover. For $2, I think that was a pretty good find. Close it in on 30 minutes. I got this out of the $2 bin, Uncanny Inhumans, number 10, to fill up the run. A Hannigan and Esposito cover from 1977. And 2 books left. These, well, 3. I'm going to show this one first, because this was out of the older gentleman who had the Golden Age books. He had 2 books in a bag for $1 each. All of them were beat up. This one's pretty beat up, but for 50 cents. World's Finest number 122 with the Batman before he has his new logo from Julius Schwartz, the editor there that changed that. So yeah, for 50 cents, I'll definitely pick up this book. And that's from December 1961. Okay, so out of the dollar bin before I left, I had all those dollar books, and then he had 2 other books I grabbed. One was 6, one was 10. So with the discount, I'd say it's probably this was $5. Really nice high grade copy of Karate Kid number 1, part of the DC Implosion. Mike Grell, I believe this is 1978. Yep, first solo series Karate Kid. No, 1976. Paul Levitz on the scripts, Mike Grell on the art. And there's a lot of people that love Mike Grell art, and he created the now I'm not gonna be able to remember it. Warrior, what's his name? Brain fart every dang time. Anyways, he had some great creations. Big Green Arrow artist. I never really liked his art. His anatomy was never the best. But I mean, look here. It looks like Batman's pants are falling down, or he's carrying a load in his pants right there. But Mike Grell actually he's a really good writer. I know that. He created that detective, which now brain fart. I should have done research because I have the number 1, but I can't remember what it is. But he's a really major player, big creator. You know, some creators art you like, some you don't. This was $10. This was not on my radar, but it wasn't. You know, it was a book that when I see it, I'm like, I don't have it. I want to get it. And a lot of times when you're looking through history books of like the Bronze Age, Marvel, this book always shows up. So this is number 4 from 1975, first solo Howard the Duck, and first appearance. And the reason it always shows up because it's Bruner cover, and Bruner's just got some stunning artwork. And of course, Man-Thing, if you show or feel any fear when you're near him and he touches you, you will burn up. So that's depicting here on this cover. This is a very, very iconic Bruner cover. Like I said, it always shows up in history books on the Marvel Bronze Age. And it's also the first appearance of the Man-Frog. I guess it may even be his last appearance. But anyways, that's my Comic-Con haul. I had a good time. I met a lot of people, had a lot of great conversations. But yeah, so thanks for joining me again. This is Nighttiger. Check out my content.